If you don't know what you want in a relationship, you don't just get nothing, you get anything. And anything means whatever shows up, whatever stays, and whatever doesn't immediately hurt. And after a while, it starts to feel like finding friendships and building relationships is random. It's like people are unpredictable, like connection doesn't make sense. But it does. You're just stuck in a pattern of indecisiveness and you're unsure about what you want. So you'll get anything. In this episode, I'm going to walk you through how to figure out what you actually want in a relationship, why focusing on what you don't want keeps you stuck, and how real experiences build clarity instead of confusion. Are you ready? Let's go. Hey, what's going on? My name is Coach Lee Hopkins. Our pronouns are he, him, his, and you're listening to the Patterns of Possibility podcast, the podcast for late identified autistic adults who want real relationships without fake masks. Let's talk connection, clarity, and showing up as your authentic self. Now, all of this stuff is based on my own life experiences and what I have seen. Lots of patterns. That's what I've seen. And the biggest thing I've discovered is that if you don't choose, you're going to default. You'll default to whatever you have learned before about building relationships. When you don't know what you want, you don't pause. You don't evaluate. You don't filter. You just accept because no one has taught you how to do that. No one has taught you how to make a friend, how to start a conversation, what to talk about, how to maintain that relationship. And you probably haven't even seen examples of this with your parents or other people. You've just seen unrealistic expectations like TV, friends on TV. Like, I have no idea how they all had jobs and all had time to meet at a coffee shop. Or other sitcoms where I grew up on, these 90s sitcoms where they always had time for friendships. They always did things that frustrate each other and they all laughed about it at the end of it. And those things didn't sit right with me, but I thought that's what friendships were. I didn't know how to discern for myself. No one told me that I had options. I could choose, I could decide, I could disconnect, I could connect with people, I could make attempts. I'm going to have to deal with rejection. I'm going to have to start conversations. No one taught me how to do all of those things. So I went out to the world and I just expected friendships to just create. And I blame this on any romantic comedy or any kind of like coming of age movie where the friendships just developed. It was like they had an experience. Maybe they didn't like each other at first. They were rivals, and then all of a sudden they're friends. And that's how I thought relationships would work. And that might be how you think relationships are going to work too, because how else do they do? There were no other examples. And if you have a brain like mine, who likes structure, who needs guidance, ideas, actual steps, I didn't know what was happening there. Just start a fight with somebody and then we'll be friends? Is that how it works? Never felt good to me. Never actually happened. So I didn't know that I could choose. I just defaulted to whoever was in my life because the people who were sitting with me in class, those were the people I was around, didn't know that I could expand my circle and look outside of my class and do different things. And that's both in high school and in college. And then when it comes to when you're working at your job, you might default to the people around you because you have a routine now. And there's not really space to deviate from being at work and then going home. Being at work, then going home. There's nothing there. There's no time for it. It seems like there's no time for it, especially if you have other responsibilities on top of that. So what do? You default. That's the problem. You default. And you don't realize that the world is a menu of options that you can choose from, and you can put together this menu and you can order from that menu. You can decide exactly what it is that you want. And this happens with people all the time. Let's say you did somehow, let's imagine that you're in your 30s or 40s and somehow you decided, I'm actually going to go out after work. I'm going to go to this cool little meet cute coffee shop thing where it's like a networking event to connect with other friends, with people. And you decide that you're going to go there and you meet someone. And you kind of feel like, oh, this is a cool person. You exchange phone numbers. It just happens on default. They may like say, hey, you want to exchange phone numbers, and you just accept, and you're excited because you want to talk to this person some more. And they text you every day. They text you every day. They just have time. They think you're cool too, and they text you every day. But you are overwhelmed. You're overwhelmed with the fact that they text you every day because you don't know what to say. You don't know how to respond. So you don't respond right away. And you feel uncomfortable with the situation, and then the relationship disappears. But what happens, because you didn't respond to them, they figured you're not interested in them. But perhaps there was something else that you needed from them that you didn't express, like time to decompress, like an expectation that you wouldn't text every day, every few days, or it might take me some time to respond to you and such and such. But because you're on default mode, you don't know that you can say those things and probably maintain the relationship. You possibly can. Or you can say those things because it is something that you need. I don't want to text every day. I'll text you every once in a while or a few times, or it'll take me a few days to get back to you. And if it's acceptable to them, then they'll stay. If it's not, then they leave. And it's okay if they leave. You don't know that it's okay if they leave because there is such a desire to connect with people. There's such a desire to make sure that you just do things that don't upset them. And if you said what you needed, then they wouldn't accept that. And so you just revert to the default. And the relationship disappears anyway. So what happens is that you spend a lot of time trying to be someone that you're not, trying to connect with them in ways that don't feel good to you, and you call it a relationship, and it's not what you want. It's not what you want. So this is something that has happened over and over and over in my life. Over and over and over. And this is why I call my company the Patterns of Possibility. I recognize that this is a pattern of me not saying the thing that I want. And then when I dove deeper into understanding that, oh, it's me not saying the thing that I want and facing rejection from people who wanted something I didn't want, going my separate way, I started realizing that, well, I was in the space full of people who mostly didn't want what I wanted. And I'm like, okay, now I'm going to the wrong places. So not only am I not asking for what I want, but I'm going to places in which people do not have what I want, expecting them to have what I want. And I just get messed up and frustrated because I'm in the wrong place. After I realized that I was in the wrong place, not getting the things that I want, I realized that, oh, I need to not go to those places. Where else could I go? And that right there, where else could I go, struck me pretty hard. Because I had no idea. And this is me having this realization in my late 30s. Where else could I go? Well, okay, I don't really know. And then I had to sit down and figure out, what do I really want? What do I want from people? And that I wasn't sure about either. I wasn't sure if I could even have it. I was really stuck. I was not sure what to do. And so the work is to be in places where there are people who can give you the things that you want, but you first must figure out what it is that you want. So let's use this analogy. It's like going out to a restaurant. So you have this favorite restaurant that you have around the corner, and the food is mediocre. It's cheap food, it's fast, it's easy, but it's not really delicious. But you're hungry. So you go to that restaurant because it's just what you're used to. You order number one, and it's exactly what you expected. It's mediocre. It's not very satisfying, but you ate, and it served that. It served that purpose for that moment in time. So you're full, and then you're like, man, I feel kind of lethargic, and I don't really want to do this anymore. I don't want to go to this place, but you don't know what else is around. So what you do at this point in time is you go back to your place and you do some research and you look and you see what else is around. What else is around? You got to spend some time. And you look through these menus, because what's going to happen. You're going to look through these menus, going to look at these restaurants, and you're going to think, man, you're going to read the descriptions, and you might think, man, this doesn't sound good, or this sounds okay, or sort of, or let me go try that. And that's the purpose of spending some time looking at these menus, right? You want to decide whether you want to spend your time, effort, and energy going to those places, spending your money, and putting that food into your body because you're expecting something to happen. It's the same thing when you go connect with other people. You got to spend some time in the research, and you got to go try it. So the next time after you've done the research, let's say you picked up 3 places and you're like, oh, they look kind of interesting. I'm going to go and try this one thing. So you walk past that restaurant that you're normally going to because you know how it feels to go into that restaurant to get that number 1. It's not very satisfying. You're going to feel lethargic. It's not very great. Don't spend your time, effort, and energy going to that place. Walk past that restaurant and go to the first one that's new to you. Go to a new place. And you look at the menu, it's kind of overwhelming. You're not used to it, but you decide you're going to do something anyway. You're going to try something in this place anyway. And so you get a number 3. And let's say it's a Chinese food place and you're just wanting to try something different. So you try it and you absolutely hate it. You don't like it. It's nothing like you hoped it would be. And the service is terrible. The people are terrible. You just like, I'm absolutely not going to go back to this place ever again. Good. Check off something that you do not like. Know why you don't like it. Don't go back to that place. It's the same with your relationships and connections with other people. If you are looking to connect with people, go to different places and try those things. And if you get the ick, then you just don't go back. You just don't talk to that person, perhaps, and you just don't go back, right? So the next time, back to the restaurant analogy, the next time you are hungry, you think about going back to that one place that you always go to, your favorite place. But don't forget, this is the thing, don't forget when you want to go back to that friend or that relationship, that restaurant, don't forget that you always go, you get to number 1, and it's not really great for you. It doesn't feel good. Don't waste your time, effort, and energy on it. You already know what the experience is going to be like. It's time for you to go to a new experience. So just because you tried the new restaurant doesn't mean that you stop trying new things. You are building your own menu of options for people. You're building your own recipe for connection with others. Okay, so you've got 2 other things on your list. You've written 3. You have 3 things on your list already. You crossed out 1. This is one place that you will not go because you didn't like the food, you didn't like the service, and so much more. You go to the second place. Try something there, and you try something. Okay, let's say you try the number 2 at this place, and it is mediocre. It's so kind of, but the service is great. People are friendly. You like the atmosphere. Maybe it was just that one dish. So the next time you're hungry, check out that second place. Try a different dish. How it translates to relationships is you talk to one person at this event, didn't have a great time talking to that one person, but the atmosphere was great. The other people seemed lovely. The host was fun. Go back to that event again and talk to a different person. What we're doing here is experimenting. You have to be absolutely clear on what you want and what you don't want, what you're going to put your energy into, what you're going to put your effort into, and what you're not going to put your energy and effort into. And to discover that, you have to try things. And if you focus on what was bad about places, what don't you like, what won't you see, you're going to find more and more and more of it. If you wait until you're desperate for connection, you're going to settle for anything. You're going to default. You're going to go to that first restaurant and get that number 1 that leaves you lethargic, that leaves you feeling kind of icky, and you're going to be like, I can't believe I spent my money on that again. And there you go. You can loop into a shame cycle. The idea to remove this shame from you, to connect with other people, is to experiment and figure out what it is that you want, what you don't want. And if you never do this, if you sit inside of your house and you say, I can't connect with people, but you don't make an effort, or I'm really hungry, but you don't make an effort to go out, you don't make an effort to change, you don't make an effort to do anything differently, you're going to get the same thing over and over and over again. You will default. to whatever comes to you, because you'll be so starved for connection that you'll accept anything that comes to you. And it's not a great place to be. It's not a great place to be. If you're feeling that way now, I get it. I understand. And that's why I help people through this situation. If you are struggling to connect, if you don't know what to say, if you don't know where to go, if you don't know how to present yourself, if you're struggling with the rejection that's absolutely going to come, because not everybody is going to be able to give you the thing that you want, especially if you have no idea what you want from others. I can help you with that. I will give you one actionable step to suit your situation for free. You can just visit patternsofpossibility.com, click on Get Coaching, and have a complimentary conversation with me. I will leave you with at least one actionable step that you can apply to your life today. In the next episode, I'm going to talk about how frustration builds when you're in a relationship with someone and it expands to destroy the relationship or create lots of toxicity when you do not know what you want and you cannot hold your boundaries. All right, let's wrap this up. If you've heard something today that has helped you see yourself in relationships a little differently, then I'd love to hear your thoughts. You can leave a comment here, or you can reach me at patternsofpossibility@gmail.com. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Also, if you could take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe, it really helps more people find these conversations and join our growing community. And speaking of community, if you're looking for a space where you can express yourself and be met with curiosity rather than rejection as a late diagnosed autistic adult, then come visit thepatternsofpossibility.com and find your community there. Learn more about what we're doing. We're connecting with others. You can be yourself and authenticity in this space. Find other people who've had your experiences, who know what you're going through, so you don't have to do this alone. Until next time, take care of your energy, and remember that connection starts when you allow yourself to be seen.